What is good, internet people? In this video, I'm going to talk about knives that you can get right at 30 bucks that I think are just some awesome options. I truly believe that $30 is where most people should feel comfortable that they're getting a high quality knife. It might not have all the extra features that some people want, but it gives you everything you need for an EDC knife, and it is made well and it will last. To start us off, we've got the CJRB Pyrite Light. This one is an AR RPM 9, thumb studs for the opening, a little bit of jimping. It is I don't even know that I would really want to call that jimping, to be honest. They should definitely go a little deeper, but once again, 30 bucks. It is what it is. You got the deep carry pocket clip, reversible. These are like FRN or something on the handles. AR RPM 9 blade steel, that is their proprietary blade steel. I have had this one for a pretty long time, and I have carried and used it, and we still have an edge on it. It is an easy steel to strop and keep sharp. So once again, a very high quality knife for that price. Next up, we got the Civivi Mini Praxis. These come in right around 30 bucks. You got a liner, decent access to it. It is jimped. You got just a little bit of jimping right here, but does come up at an angle, so it gives you a nice place to put your thumb. This is D2 steel. You got a nice choil to choke up and a very thin, slicey blade here. No, the pocket clip is not reversible at this price. That is not something that I worry too much about. I am right-handed though, so there is that. You got inset pocket clip, so it saves your pants a little bit of wear and tear and makes it a little easier to get them in and out. I will be honest, the Mini Praxis is not my favorite. The action on it just isn't as crisp as some of the others, I feel like, but it is an awesome knife. The other thing I could see people not liking is all the grooves, the finger grooves. It fits me okay, but in certain times I do feel like I'm just kind of being forced up on the knife a little bit, and this thing is just on the edge of what my hand will fit on. So there is that, but still high quality knife that I would recommend somebody try if they were looking at $30 for their price point. Next up, we got MIGURON. MIGURON I should just talk about as a whole company probably, but for now we got a D2 drop point blade with a fuller and rear flipper. You got a liner lock that is chamfered down right here to make it a little more comfortable in the hand. Something I like about this knife that I'm going to point out is that it is just a little bit thicker on the scales. It really makes you feel like you're holding a full-size, more bigger knife. You got a little bit of a choil here. You can definitely use it, but I do feel like my finger creeps up a little too close to the edge. Reversible pocket clip, not inset, but that's not the end of the world. It's just something nice that they add. Then you've got the G10 backspacer. A little bit of jimping, nothing too extensive, but 30 bucks, can't go wrong. The other thing I want to mention about MIGURON, I think when I went to their website to kind of see where this was at price-wise, they've got 8 knives that are right in the same price. This one is the Talisman, but they have a bunch of other options with crossbars, aluminum handles, different blade shapes. I mean, with MIGURON, you can basically pick any type of knife you want at this price, and they've got an option for you. And I've never had a MIGURON that was not high quality. Right here, you've got a QSP Penguin. This one is shredded carbon fiber, liner lock. You got some jimping on the liner to give a little grip. You got a little bit more than some of the other ones in jimping, but it is not the most aggressive jimping. So you're getting a D2 blade. This is the Penguin V2 deep carry clip. It is reversible, and with the QSP Penguins, they put the clip into the handle, which is cool, but sometimes a little more work to reverse, but you're probably not going to have to do it except for one time, so not that big a deal. You got thumb studs, very good action on the Penguins. QSP also has the Parrots that come in right at 30 bucks. I believe this one, like I said, was like 45 because of the shredded carbon fiber, but they have models right at like 35, 38 bucks in just regular G10, and it is worth talking about because the QSP Penguin is kind of a legendary knife at this price, at this point, I would say. You got the Remet Rhino coming up next. This one, you got a button liner lock. Opening methods, you got the thumb studs, the fuller, and then also the top front flipper. This one is not the easiest, but once you get the hang of it, it's also not that hard. Spidey flick on the fuller works well, and the thumb studs work well. Or you can use the button and give it the old whip method. With this one, you have a liner lock that the button engages with, and you also have access to the liner, which for 30 bucks, that's pretty crazy to me that Remet is putting this kind of quality out. You've got another deep carry clip that is reversible, not inset, and you have a very small, but it's there, backspacer. I think when this knife came out, it kind of, to me, took over this price point. I think it is, or should I say was, the best knife at this price point. D2 on the blade steel. Next up, we got the Remet Camel. This is the one that I feel like took over the Remet Rhino spot. This one just came out a week or so ago. You got a good amount of jimping back here. D2 blade, nice spot to choke up. You got this sheep's foot with a belly, which is something that I enjoy. I think you can get down on a flat surface just a lot easier, but you can also do those utility precision cuts. Same thing on the last one, button, liner, access to the liner, deep carry clip. This time they did inset them, which is awesome, but you do not have the backspacer. So I feel like kind of a common trend here is either you get inset pocket clips or a backspacer at this price point. But I think Remet outdid themselves. The thumb hole works well. Something I like about it, they did not round the edges. The thumb hole, opening hole, is one of the few areas of a knife I don't want my edges rounded. I prefer it to be a little rougher. And then they didn't create some huge opening hole that makes the blade stick out. I prefer a little tighter hole for my finger. It makes it just so much easier on the thumb flick, which these just lend themselves to Spidey flicks. All opening holes I feel like do. And then that rear flipper also works very well. Like I said, I think this knife basically took over the $30 price point of knives. Right now these are at $38, but I think there's still a coupon code to get them for like $33. For $33, you can't really go wrong with the Remet Camel or the Remet Rhino if you prefer this blade shape. It's very swoopy. I like that it gives you a little spot for your thumb here, plus the jimping here. Once again, just a well-designed budget knife. And then my next probably recommendation would be the Penguin, which the blade, I feel like, I don't mind the straight sheep's foot blade, but putting a belly on it and then having it more of a drop point where you can still do some puncturing, I feel like this is just a better design, but love my Penguins. And then for me, I would go with the MIGURON next. And then honestly, I would take the CJRB Pyrite Light. And then I would do the Civivi. all of them awesome knives from awesome companies. This was just meant to show that you can get a good knife for not a lot of money, and you actually have a lot of options. On the table we've got 1, 2, 3 different methods of opening. As you can see, we got multiple different blade shapes. You got only 2 different steels here, but D2 is not a bad steel. I know nowadays it's just not the cool steel, but D2 is still a good steel to use, especially when we are talking about 30 something dollars. So there you have it. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think about knives in this price point? Do you think it's worth it to spend a little bit more and maybe get something that's in a different steel, or maybe just has more features? Or do you think that any of these would work for 90% of people that are looking for a good knife that don't want to spend a lot of money? Or if you absolutely hate the video and hate everything I said, please tell me down below. I do enjoy any type of feedback. Nothing will hurt my feelings. I'm not that sensitive, but most importantly, love yourself. Do something nice for somebody today, even if it's just to make you feel better. It might also make them feel better, and that's not a bad thing. Thank y'all for watching.